So we're out today. Got some bear paws on, some mucks, got our pack basket, a few things. We're heading out today because we're going to scout for a spot to do some winter camping. We got about 10 inches of snow last night. Saved last of winter for the last hurrah, I guess, in March. We're looking at March 7th, 8th. We finally got snow. So we're going to go out. We're going to look for an area, check our firewood stores, and see what we have. It's kind of a nice day. It's a blustery day. It's cold. It's about 30. Say right now. So on our way. There we go. Snow conditions are, it's basically heavy wet snow, a lot of moisture content. It's already sintering. It's I'm only dropping in about, I don't know, 4 inches maybe. Well, here's one cache of firewood that we had, so that's okay. Clear that off. It'll be fine to use. Deer stand right here. That's where I usually sit on the ground. Yep. Well, here's some of my firewood. We're gonna have to pull that up off the ground. That all fell down. One of the reasons when we're in the bush and we use short snowshoes, especially if we're gathering wood, it's easier to maneuver versus having a long set, you know, in open country with long tails. This way they don't get hooked on stuff, which is why I got a set of bear paws on. Because I know I'm going to be in a stand of hardwoods and it'll be a bear trying to maneuver around. So we got it up. Got it out of the snow for now, and that should be all right for tomorrow when I get out here in the morning and set up camp. You know, one of these things here, you look at this tree, you see that the pileated woodpecker has basically ripped this one to shreds. And so what do we learn from that? Well, we know that there's carpenter ants in there because that's what the woodpecker is looking for. And there's punk for fire making. And the other thing that this tells us is that usually the inside of that tree is going to be rotten. So that creates a standing deadfall. So we really don't want to be anywhere near that. We really wouldn't want to be yanking on it if we didn't have to, and a strong wind could take it down. It's just one little thing when you look at a tree like that. This is one spot that I may consider. I like it. It's just enough room. Shaded from the wind a little bit. It's kind of what I want. Doesn't appear that there's any deadfalls hanging above me, although I'm not so sure about that limb way up there. Not liking it too much. We'll see. Gotta look for a better spot. Go back out over here. Well, I think we're gonna wind up going back to the original spot right now. The only reason why I say that is although a couple of these spots over here are a little bit cleaner and not a lot of trees above them. Problem that I'm having right now is that they're in the wind. And I'd rather be shaded from the wind for a little bit. Not that saying the other one was unsafe, because it appeared safe. I looked at the tree a little bit more in-depthly. So I think we're going to go back there. We're going to tamp it down for our platform, for our tent, and then go from there. There's actually a lot of wood over here on this side too. So I might not have to take those caches right now. But there's a lot of wood above the snow here. So we're going to go back and start preparing that campsite for tomorrow. Pretty much what we've done is we've tamped down the area where we're going to put our tent, or our footprint. The tent's an 8x10. So we've done a little bit more to the outside. You know, some people dig them out, some people tamp them down. To each their own in different situations and what may or may not be applicable at the time. I mean, if I had like 3 feet of snow, I'd probably dig it out so I could get down to something a little bit more than trying to tamp down 3 feet of snow through the entire thing. There's only 10 inches of snow on the ground, and I don't anticipate the snow lasting through the weekend, to be honest with you. The temperatures are going to climb up anyway. So for now, we're just going to, we're going to roll with it. We just want to get out here. So a little bit ahead of the game, just tamp it down. Now we're going to go around. We're going to get some, trees that are down and use them for supports and or an area to process wood. Hopefully we won't have to take any trees down, but if we do, we'll harvest them a little bit responsibly. We'll take the weaker trees if they're in a clump, as opposed to the newer trees which are coming up, which have more availability to light. So prune responsibly, but if you don't have to, use what's on the ground if you can find it. So what we did here is we just made pretty much just a quick, fast little wood processing station that we can use. Cut some pretty decent downed limbs, and we just use a Janaka band to hold them in place of just doing a lashing. We pointed off the ends and we hit them into the snow, anchored them in there, and then we used that and we leaned them up against this pole here, this log. Now we can just elevate our work off the ground out of the snow. Makes it a little bit easier on us. We don't have to do a huge processing station. We're only going to be here for a couple nights. So if I was going to be here a little bit longer, well then maybe I'll put in a more permanent piece. But this is just some of the prep that you're going to do. And it'll just make life easier.